I did this thing. And it was one of those things you do, and afterwards you do it, you ask yourself, why did I do that thing? And the truth is, I don't think there was any way around it, any alternative. There was no conceivable way around it. He worked at the end of the lane, about a mile from here. It's just one long road, and I had to pass him if I wanted to go anywhere. The first time I saw him, he was standing by the road, smoking. And he looked at me. He gave me that look. Because men don't look at women and see... They don't look at women and see a people or equals. They assess us. They give us the once-over. See if we're worthy of a second glance, a whistle, or a comment. We're here for them to decide whether or not to lift us up or smack us down. We're here for them. To make ourselves look pretty for them. We should be grateful for the things they yell to us, to underage school girls in their skirts out the window of their van. And it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter if a woman says, that's not me. I don't let them treat me that way. It doesn't make a difference or change the fact that that's how they'll see you. That is how they'll want to treat you by default. And that'll never change. Men rule the world. Women survive it. Except for the women that don't survive. Except for the women that are killed, or raped, or murdered by a man. Men. Or the women who committed suicide, who have a list as long as my arm of the reasons that they did it. And I wonder how many of those reasons could be traced back to a man. It's worse if you're a gay woman, because then the rape jokes are acceptable, expected even. And you're supposed to just laugh. But when it's every day that you're followed, or you get some crude all those hours, all those days where I spent never leaving the house because I knew he was there. I knew he came up on his lunch breaks, sat by the wall, just looking. I could see him through my kitchen window. And I told people. I told the police. All they did was give him a warning. Told him it's probably not a good idea. That just made it worse. And then one night, he followed me home. I was driving back from a night out with friends. It was my birthday. And I saw his headlights behind me. And I knew what I was going to do. So I invited him in. Because if I hadn't invited him in, he would have come in anyways. It was safer for me if he thought I was up for it. I think that says a lot about him, about men. So, I got him a drink, a bottle of beer, and I knew what I was going to do. I hadn't planned it yet, but I knew. Once I did it, this would all be over. All this shit. With him anyways. So I poured the morphine that I found in the cabinet from when my wife was dying of cancer in the bottle. And something else, I don't remember, something from the vet, something for when the dog got her foot caught in the fox trap. I poured them in, and I hoped it didn't taste like shit. We sat on the couch, and as he drank it, he told me how he always knew I would let him in eventually. He knew I'd let him in, that I always wanted it. It didn't take very long, maybe a few minutes. I don't know. He just looked like he was sleeping. His eyes rolled a little bit, and then he just laid there for a while until I couldn't see that he was breathing. I stayed with him in the room all night, just in case he woke up. But by the morning, he had turned this weird gray color, and his hands were stiff. And that night I had a bonfire with him in the middle. And I took his bones, the pieces I could find, and I put them in a bag. And I put them in the garbage. The police never came. It's like that line from that movie with Meryl Streep and Nicole Kidman. I can't remember the name, but Nicole Kidman with the fake nose. She says, "What does it mean to regret when you had no choice?"